Hi, welcome back to Celebrating Culture. I'm here at WWOZ Studios in the heart of the French Quarter with Beth Arroyo Utterback.
Thank you so much for being here. It's so great to have you.
Thanks for being on the show.
Yes.
So Beth, New Orleans is obviously a place where people go to have a great time and have fun. And I'm looking at your smile, the energy, and you guys create that.
The wonderful thing about WWOZ is what we like to say is if you can't live in New Orleans, let New Orleans live in you. And one of the things that we're really proud of here is not only bringing New Orleans music and culture to the people in our city and in the state, but people all over the world listen to us and support WWOZ. We not only bring new acts to the world like Tank and the Bangas or Trombone Shorty, which isn't so new anymore, but what we do is we preserve the wonderful jazz, not only Satchmo and Mahalia Jackson, Fats Domino, Dr. John, who passed away recently. The thing about WWOZ is that their music's going to live on forever because we just don't play the music when they pass away. That's just part of what we do. So we preserve the culture. Louis Prima you're going to hear. All of these wonderful artists you're going to continue to hear on WWOZ.
And you have people drop in, like Lena Prima will drop in, Irma Thomas drops in.
A lot of times, like an artist will just call, they may have written a new song or they may just be promoting something or they just may want to come in for a visit and help us out and they'll come in and sing a couple of songs for us or just come talk about what they're doing. It's wonderful. And the great thing, Charles, is that not only is it artists from here, but artists from all over and fans of the station drop in from all over the place. Yesterday we had somebody from Hong Kong here just that loves the station and listens in Hong Kong and decided to come by and see us. People just see the sign because we're right here in the middle of the French Market. They feel part of OZ, so they want to come and see what it looks like. One of the things that's so unique about WWOZ is we're a community public radio station, and actually all the voices that you hear on air, all of our show hosts are actually volunteers. No one is getting paid for their time, and these are people that have been here, some of them 38 years, 20 years, 25 years. They've been coming here to volunteer at WWOZ, and they have an encyclopedic knowledge of their genre. For instance, we have people that do contemporary jazz, that's their focus. We have the traditional jazz, we have blues, hours and hours of preparation to get ready for their show, and they've been doing this as volunteers for decades. The other thing that's super popular is our live wire, and that is at the top of every odd hour every day. We talk about all the live music that's happening in New Orleans that night. And sometimes the live wire can go on for 2 or 3 minutes and it doesn't even really cover everything because that's how many live bands are playing in any single night here in New Orleans.
Standard Montreal for 2 sets at Snug Harbor. The Dapper Dandies at BMC. Matt Lindler at the Bombay Club. The Crescent City Coffee Grinders at the Bourbon Bar.
Obviously, you guys are an integral part of Jazz Fest.
We are. You know, we are owned by the Jazz and Heritage Foundation, and so we're obviously like intricately involved in not only Jazz Fest, but also broadcasting Jazz Fest to the world, because as much as we love for people to come visit New Orleans and attend Jazz Fest, it's not practical for everybody. So the wonderful thing is that we broadcast live every day of Jazz Fest so that people all over the world can feel like they're at the Jazz Fest.
The fact that you've got that many bands playing with those large crowds at every stage.
It's an incredible deal, really, when you think about it. I mean, they have not only all the wonderful music that you can enjoy all day long, but also all the wonderful vendors, all the terrific food and drinks and everything. I think it's a great value, and people just having a great time, and that's the wonderful thing.
Irma Thomas, her tent was packed.
Yes, her tent was packed, and it was not only standing room only, they had to tell some people that they couldn't even fit in, but the great thing about OZ is that you could hear it live while it was happening. And that's one of the things that we're so proud that we do here, not only with Jazz Fest, but being here in the French Quarter. We broadcast live from the French Quarter Fest. We also broadcast live from the Crescent City Blues and Barbecue Festival. We do a lot with the Satchmo Fest as well, which is every August here. So we're very involved in the community.
Well, I noticed this year at the French Quarter Fest, I talked to people from Baltimore, California, Washington State. It was incredible the amount of tourism that come in for the French Quarter Festival?
French Quarter Fest has grown by leaps and bounds just in the last few years. I mean, when it first started out years ago, I remember there was like just a couple of stages, and it was really, really local. And then just every year they add more and more stages, and more people come.
The French Quarter Festival brings in the Jazz Museum now. The Jazz Museum must be a big windfall for you guys.
Well, the Jazz Museum and WWOZ work closely together. You know, we always are there to help promote all of their exhibits that have anything to do with the music and culture of New Orleans. And so, you know, they're great friends of ours.
I understand that the Louis Prima exhibit,
Oh, yeah.
you're part of that.
We love Louis Prima here at WWOZ. When Louis Prima exhibit came, we worked very hard with the Jazz Museum to promote that exhibit and let people know about it. And it's really a phenomenal exhibit. It's so wonderful to have them like a block away, because here we are keeping the music of Louis Prima alive to the world, helping to keep that music alive, and then having this beautiful exhibit right down the street. It just all ties in so beautifully.
And there's one other gentleman, and that was Cosimo Matassa.
Yes.
And he had a studio not too far from here.
Well, you know, Cosmo Matassa over on Rampart Street, he's like an integral part of New Orleans music. And, you know, he merged everything into what they called like the New Orleans sound, basically. He not only worked with Little Richard, but of course, Bats Domino, Irma Thomas. There's so many wonderful New Orleans stories, and Cosmo Matassa certainly should not be forgotten.
Absolutely, and it's great that we've continued with WWOZ being in the French Quarter to have that heartbeat or that soul right in the center where all this music comes from.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I agree. And I always love it when people see our sign and just decide to just pop on up and they say, you know, like, I'm a member from Wyoming, or I listen to you all the time from California, or I've come all the way from Germany, and I saw your sign. I couldn't not pass without coming to say hi and how much we love to listen to your station.
Great.
It's like the soundtrack of so many people's lives, and we really we appreciate that, and we value that, and we take that very seriously.
Yeah. Well, Beth, I want to thank you for being on this show, and thank you for individually what you've done for New Orleans through your career with WYS and now with WWOZ, and for what WWOZ does.
Thank you so much, and thank you for being here, and thank you for doing what you're doing and telling our stories.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of Celebrating Culture.